If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my. I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
What up? It seems like forever. What is it? 2-3 days? So the start to my MLB season, not as good as some on this panel, right? Actually, it was fine. Last week didn't go bad, but yesterday hurt me. Actually, the Birds hurt me. The Orioles. Only play I made in the MLB. And more so, that second inning for the Orioles, you start off with 2 walks, and that's not going to go well against anybody because it's not like Trevor Rogers really gave up that many hits, right? It was really just those 2 walks to start the inning that hurt him. And then that was it from there. But he shut him down. So I want to say, it was the right pick. It was the right side, right? What I didn't want to do is I didn't want to lay 163 with the Orioles full game. So I tried to narrow it to the first 5, and I really took it in the ass for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yesterday was Shane Baz, right?
Yeah. Shane Baz. Yes.
Rogers actually won the game.
Rogers won. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it was Baz. Baz spazzed out in the second inning, walked the first 2 guys, and then from there it was just, And look, he shut him down from there on in. It's not like they hit him, right? Like it was more so just those first 2 innings. Listen, Friday actually crushed it. I crushed it on the show. So I don't know what you guys, other than the Houston Astros, I think I won pretty much everything else on the show, including my Aaron Judge dinger, which of course
yes.
that was fucking electric.
Awesome.
And thank you in the chat.
It's a good call.
1-0 on Nerfies because of Friday.
Oh God.
I had to do it. I had to do it.
The biggest problem with that is the simple fact that you guys don't know what you're getting yourselves into, right? It's one of those, be careful what you wish for, because the more you encourage him, the more he's going to do it. The more he does it, that percentage is going to shrink. And I'm still going to reinstate that it's a terrible bet whether he won it or not. It's just an awful bet. And Coach, I want your opinion on this because I'm finding less of an edge and less value now, even in first 5s.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, definitely. There's a couple games today where it was one of my first thoughts was, hey, let's check out the first 5. But the pricing it's the
pricing, right?
Yeah.
And it's the inconsistency of teams early.
Yes.
And those 1 innings, and which from a team that ends up coming back and ends up taking control later in the game and getting to a bullpen. So I feel like there's more of an edge later in games now than there is early. And it used to be the difference when you wanted to narrow it down to just starting pitchers. Like that edge is no longer there, or at least I'm seeing, or I'm not finding that edge there anymore.
No, I don't think that
as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I think because it's early in the season, I don't think we're going to see those edges till we get, maybe 3-4 weeks in, where we get a number 1 starter against a number 4 guy, and then you're going to see some edges, I think.
Right. Once the alignment gets out of because right now it's rotation, lined up versus rotation.
Yes. Yeah.
And even in a week and a half from now, we're going to start to see some flip. So
yeah, but I actually believe that you really start to see the flip even starting day 2, right? Because not many teams, throw out that quality of a number 2 or number 3, right? Like I think you're down to the bottom of the barrel, and this is where the better teams actually really start to separate. Look, and that's just saying, because even going back to last year, I actually, lessened the load on first 5 and started concentrating more on team totals and just full game wins, right? And I stopped, it's funny because I stopped caring about the 163, 170 favorite if I felt my edge was big enough, right? Like I stopped caring about laying that, right? Like, because you know what, 163 is still a discount, and we were saying this on opening day, how we found the Red Sox on opening day was value at 155. Same thing with the Orioles. We felt that was a sale at 160. And I think that's where your head has to be at now in the new day and age of baseball, because you're going to see, you're only going through this lineup once or twice, especially now to start the season with the colder weather. It affects the hitters as much as it does, the pitchers. And I think, a prime example of that was that Mets Pirates game that went into extra innings before it seen their first run. So they basically had to donate a runner on second before they can get one across.
Yep.
All right. So I said all that. Anyway, fuck the Orioles. And no, I will not be back on the Birds today. Although I do have a very short memory. I'm like a defensive back in it, or quarterback in that aspect.
Gotta have
one. You gotta be.
And then, I'm a Brett Favre fucking gunslinger. All right, so let's go.
I can make that throw.
And until it's going for 60 the other way. Anyway, let's go. First up, we have the Minnesota Twins headed to Kansas City to take on the Royals. Kauffman Stadium. Now, guys, remember that the walls have been moved in. The walls have been moved in. This is pretty much known as a pitcher-friendly park. I don't know if that's going to be the case here. We have Woods and Bubic. How do you say his name?
Bubich. Talk about the Bubich.
All right. Anyway, I have no feel, no lean. I don't know what to make heads or tails of either of these lineups. You know, if you judged Coach Rick's team total over with the Kansas City Royals to start the season, I mean, that lineup is fucking putrid from what I've seen so far. But, Coach, what do you think here?
Yeah, so far they haven't done anything, but it's a small sample. It's
early. Tiny sample.
You know, it's early, so I don't. But you mentioned the fences. You know, the walls are in. You know, it's a little bit closer. It's a little bit more hitter friendly. But the big thing today, I don't know if you guys saw the weather. In that area of the states
blowing out.
It's winds like 15 to 20 miles an hour. Some gusts up to 30, all blowing out the left field. The temperatures in between 85 and 90. So it's going to be a heater. I think you make a strong case for the over. But what I like better, Bubich is definitely the better pitcher here. He's left-handed. Twins had a little trouble with Rogers in that first game. I'd expect him to have some trouble here as well. So that's what kind of holds me back from the over. I honestly, I think the best look here is actually Bubich over 4.5 strikeouts. I mean, he's done that numerous times last year. Minnesota right now averaging about 10, 11 strikeouts per game. So for me, I'm on Bubich right now.
I have a question.
Yep.
Based upon everything you said and your entire handicap on this game, you basically painted a picture, and I don't mean one that throws. I mean a picture that you hang on your wall.
Yep.
For a perfect Kansas City Royals over.
Sure. Yeah, and you could make the
like
case
from your
for
handicap and everything you said. Like that's all
Yeah.
I'm thinking is then if you like the over, but you don't really trust the Twins, then why not just narrow it to a Kansas City Royal team total over? I mean, what are you catching that over at? What's the game, the line on the game, and I'll tell you what the number is.
The total it was 9.
It's at 10. So I would say you
10,
can catch probably a 4.5 on the Royals. Maybe a little bit of a juice on top of it, but I don't mind that look, especially against Woods Richards.
4.5 is minus 150.
I don't mind that.
I love that for what it's worth. Because my handicap on this game is really similar to what Coach said. I love the over here. Like the Royals haven't looked good, and you're getting an overline at 10, the ballpark, all that. And then look at Simeon Woods Richardson. The dude was okay last year, but he is bad. His road splits are horrible. There's a lot of background noise. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you. I don't know where the background's coming from.
Okay, cool.
I was Coach fumbling around.
Yeah, Coach. It's all good.
Is there a Mrs. Bo running around there somewhere, Coach? You're not sharing.
Yeah, she's under the desk here.
Happy life.
So, anyways,
Make it happen.
If you guys looked at Woods Richardson road splits, 5.19 ERA on the road last season.
Well, you know what they say, Coach. Sometimes the only way to keep them quiet is to keep their mouths full.
Exactly. That's the definition of indefinitely. When they're snapping off your chin, I'm indefinitely. So.
If you guys can tell, I love the Royals. It's Royals opening day. Richardson bad on the road. All this points to an over, but for me, since Coach took a prop, it's a perfect time for me to take my Nerfy Yerfy. It's a Yerfy today, guys. Someone's going to score in the first inning. I absolutely love the.
You guys fucking deserve every fucking bit of this. I'm telling you that right now. You deserve every bit of this. This is what you now get, right? You started the shit off, and now we're into fucking Yerfies. You know what? Matter of fact, you want to know the only bet that might be worse than a Nerfy is a Yerfy. right? Like, and if you leave it to Luke, he's finding them all. But you guys encourage this. Bravo. Now reap what you fucking sow, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that it was never said and never happened. And guys, listen, I continue to tell you this. You know what? They're just bad bets. I literally stated and had a conversation here with Coach. Apparently, Luke was tuning out while I was having this conversation that the edge in first fives are disappearing. Now you're looking for an edge in 3 outs. You're looking for an edge in the first inning. It's a terrible bet price wise. It's long-term ROI disaster. You know what, guys? But you encouraged it. There you go. You guys want to light it up in the comments and ask for it. Well, now you have it, right? So now reap what you fucking sow.
We got it out of the way.
Every fucking bit of what's coming. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's head to Oracle. We have the Texas Rangers rolling in to take on the Orioles. We have Leiter and Bassett. Yeah, I looked at this game just briefly. I didn't do a deep dive on this or anything. Orioles, just when you think they weren't, the bats weren't coming around, and Alonso, had a chance in the bottom of the fifth to put one out and put me on top and cash my ticket. But anyway, didn't happen. I don't know what to make of either of these teams just yet, and I know it's still early. I know we're working with an extremely small sample size. But Luke, what do you think? I mean, do you think that the Texas Rangers lineup is going to do more than it did last year? Because that's really the entire question here, right? Because we're not worried about their pitching staff as much as we're worried about their lineup. And at least for last year, they just couldn't fucking hit. So I mean, do you think it's going to be better this year? Is there somebody to target? Is there something you look at? What do you think has improved? Because I mean, I know that, what did they do? They took on Nemo, but they lost Semien. What other like?
And they now have McCutcheon, but we talked about his age. Yeah. I think there's an avenue where they hit pretty well. I just loved Corey Seager. I mean, what's not to love about him? What the Rangers need to happen, and it's been anything but that this year through a few games, is for Wyatt Langford to be that guy. I mean, he only has 1 hit on the season, but he's going to have to drop, 30 to 35 dingers and hit 250 for this lineup to be good. So you got to keep an eye on Langford. For a quick handicap in this game, though, you got to go Corey Seager over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It's on a mega sale. I think it was minus 140 when I bet it this morning. Seager is that guy. He's batting 364 through a few games, multiple multi-hit games already. He's faced Bassett 11 times in his career. Take Seager. I love him today. Book it.
What do you
say,
With
emphasis, because I'm not in a coffee shop. Book it.
Woo! What do you? Yeah, but now it's not even
balls dropped.
Fun. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, cool.
The balls dropped.
Yeah,
no,
the ball's dropped. It's like that little guy who started yelling and screaming behind while he's standing behind his 6-foot friends. Yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do while you're running? Like that's Luke. Anyway, it's like a false sense of courage. Anyway, Coach, what do you like here?
Nothing really. I actually made a note. It said I'm not going to bet Baltimore unless Trevor Rogers pitches, or until I have a bigger sample size of this lineup, because I thought this lineup would, start tearing it up and start doing it early, but apparently they're, going to take a while to get going. So
yeah, but that was the issue with them last year, because if you remember when DeGrom came back last year, he was pitching fucking gems for us, right? But they couldn't get a hit. Couldn't get a hit. And I do kind of agree with what Luke said, that this lineup, and for anything to happen, like Seager kind of has to set the table. Because if Seager doesn't set the table, they really just don't score runs. And I'm looking at this lineup right now. I mean, can you really expect Jock Peterson to do it, consistently? Josh Smith, Jung? I mean, I don't. I mean, I think they're going to be good in spots, but I still don't trust them to hit. How the fuck they took 2 of 3 from the Phillies, I still don't understand. But I'm sure they did it with what? They did it with pitching. And I did say that we don't know really where the Phillies lineup is either because of the age, right? And just another year on those wheels. So you're going to pass here? There's no look?
Yeah, I actually had a note that says I can't find an edge here. It's one of those games where I just don't see one.
I agree with Coach.
So take Corey Seager or nothing.
Oh yeah, okay. So there you go. I mean, listen. I'm not diving into the props market. So when I say that nothing for me, I'm just going to pass on this. I'm not bypassing what Luke said. That Luke is one of the best at what he does. So obviously, when it comes to props, I just can't confirm or deny unless there's something that he says that I really, really, really want to dive into. And I'm not saying that this isn't it. But anyway, I'll shut up and I'll move on. We're going to move down here, South Florida. White Sox coming in. My 3-0 Miami Marlins. 3-0. 4 teams in the bigs right now that are 3-0. You know who's one of them?
Brewers.
The Miami. No,
Miami
that's right.
Marlins.
Miami
it's
Marlins.
Brewers are too, yeah.
Two of our
Miami
teams.
Marlins.
Yeah.
And my New York Yankees. Thank you.
And then the Blue Jays. Yep.
And the Blue Jays, yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, and the
We
Dodgers.
don't talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, we don't talk about them around here.
Looks
Oh,
like
and the Dodgers. So what is it? Yeah, wait, 5 teams, right? 5 teams undefeated.
yeah.
Yep.
Dodgers started the season 18-0. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They're not 6-0. Who do we have on the mound? All right, Paddock. I think it was a big pickup. I think it's one of the bigger pickups in the offseason. I mean, they have him pitching in his 4th hole. I actually like that. I think if you can go 4 arms deep and your 4th arm is Paddock, I think you're doing pretty good. What do you say, Coach?
I say, yeah. I mean, you can go back and you can look at his stuff from last year and all that, and whatever. But that, it's a year ago. Consider what he did in the spring, which he had a pretty good spring. He pitched 13 innings. He had 12 strikeouts. I think his ERA was below 1. And he's definitely the better option than Davis Martin. And, we saw what the White Sox did in that turd of a series with your boys in Milwaukee. So, yeah, I think you got to back Paddock here in the Marlins.
Luke?
I'm going to be quick with this. This is a shit game. I got better things to do. I'm going to eat my lunch.
Marlins are going to win this game.
Jesus.
Marlins are better than the Brewers this year. Marlins will finish with a better record than the Brewers do.
I'll eat a sandwich. I'm passing on this game. A lot of better picks coming.
Amen.
I'll move on. We're going to move on to Cincinnati, Great American Small Park. We have the Pittsburgh Pirates rolling in, Ashcraft and Burns. I like Burns, right? But I don't. This is another one of those games. Really, I don't know what to make of either team. The Pirates couldn't hit shit for games 1 and 2, and then they put a couple on the board yesterday, right? Reds, they dominated the series against the fucking Cubs. Congratulations, right? We pretty much down on the Cubs to start the season too. We thought that they lost way more than they pulled back in. So I mean, I don't know where to go. What about you, Coach? You have anything in this?
I'm right with you. It's another game where it's hard to find an edge. Burns doesn't have a major league win yet, and he actually pitched against Pittsburgh twice.
But he has good stuff.
He does have great stuff. He's a
nasty.
strikeout pitcher. He will come at you. I mean, he had 10 strikeouts against the Dodgers. He had 8 against the Yankees last year, and he pitched against Pittsburgh. He went 6 innings, 1 earned run, 10 Ks, but the Reds actually ended up losing the game. So it's, maybe I can get behind Cincy in the first 5, but Ashcraft isn't all that terrible either. He's a good young arm. Had a decent spring too. I think his ERA was right around 2. So again, another game where it's hard to find an edge. If you forced me, I'd probably back Burns early.
I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not looking for anything early. I just literally just swore off first 5s. If you guys didn't know where I was going with it, I was swearing off first 5s, at least for the first part of the season. And I'm not laying runs at home. You know what? If I have to lay 250, so fucking be it. If I have enough of an edge, I'll just do it. I don't care. I don't care when they cash the ticket. It didn't cost me anything, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. Luke, let me ask you a question. And for those who asked me earlier, no, it's not the same Burns that used to pitch for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's completely different. That was Corbin Burns, and Cy Young caliber pitcher. He's not there yet. Not saying he won't be there. But do you think that pitchers pitching in Cincinnati are kind of under the same microscope and have the same, disadvantages as guys like in Coors Field or guys like in Oakland, in these other parks, or guys even like Tampa last year? We really had no true indication of what these guys could do. And if you saw, all of their splits from home to away were much better on the road last year. It's not that they're better road pitchers. It's just that they're playing in these fucking terrible ballparks. And then it begs the question, what is that going to do for the Kansas City staff as well? Right, because now now you move those fences in, so you're going to see more runs, which is what the majors want, right? But it's going to put a lot more taxing on those arms. And people ask, so why do small parks really matter? Well, or why does it matter with wind conditions? Why is that so important? Because you have to remember now, all of those fly balls, right, that are just routine pop outs, right, or routine outs or routine fly balls are now carrying, right, in the wind. And now you move the fences in. So a routine out is now a home run. right? Like, so you have to remember that. So what does that equate to? That equates to more innings pitched. Because the more runs you give up, the more you're gonna have to, the more pitches you're gonna have to throw, the more innings on these guys' arms. So it does a lot to a pitcher, and there is a big difference that you don't even see in the numbers. You just look at a pitcher's numbers as being down, but you don't understand why or actually up in this case, right? But you don't understand why that is. Well, this is how some of these things affect it, and the league is constantly looking to add runs to the scoreboard, right? Like they're talking about on opening day, the ball's being juiced. They're moving fences in. Is another thing. And the Yankees are always trying to stack lefties for that short porch in right field, and they wanted to remove the green monster and the Boston Red Sox are saying no fucking way because, they know how to play it better than anybody in the league. Right. So, I mean, this matters. Luke, do you think that when it comes to Cincinnati, that it has the same tax on the arms as it does in like the Coors Fields?
I think it's a level down. So yeah, a little bit. Yes. It's like a tier 2 to that. It's not like Coors Field quite yet, but we still got good arms out of Cincinnati. We had Johnny Cueto's, we had Luis Castillo's. They had good years in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but Cueto disintegrated quickly, right? Like if you look at it, like as a matter of fact, I'm actually that actually speaks volumes to what I'm saying, doesn't it? Because he came in, like a fucking beast and just sizzled out. I mean, you beg to wonder if that at all had anything to do with it, right? Like, where is he now? He's too young to not be in the bigs and not be putting up big numbers.
I totally disagree. I have his career numbers pulled right here. He had a sub 2.7 ERA his entire career in Cincinnati after 2010. He fizzled out once he got to be a San Francisco Giant. His career in Cincinnati was insanely good.
But how many years did he pitch in Cincinnati?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 or 8. Yeah. And he had stellar.
That's not a long fucking career for a major league pitcher.
I'm just saying, I never saw anything in Cincinnati's ballpark,
right?
That he was great in the ballpark.
And didn't they move parks around that time? They're like in the middle of that. Like, isn't Great America Small Park kind of newer or newish, Coach?
Newer. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a question of like, did his longevity in Cincinnati hurt him, or
that's what I'm saying. But you know what?
But his stats while there were phenomenal, I guess is the point. So I don't know. It's a great question. I will say this. I think what you're saying to me on the props market means we need to look more at these pitchers, like their advanced stats, their advanced metrics. Because what Jay is saying is maybe a normal fly ball is now a home run. You now need to know what is the average exit velocity from a pitcher off the bat. You need to know what's his whiff rate, because strikeouts now matter more. You don't want that ball in play. So these types of things matter more to me from what Jay's saying. And I'll quick give my pick before I let you go. It's Chase Burns related. His stats last year were shitty. Besides his strikeouts, his ERA and whip were high. But he posted, guys, 67 strikeouts in just 43 innings pitched. Yeah. He's nasty. You know who strikes out a lot? O'Neal Cruz. Give me O'Neal Cruz over 1.5 strikeouts today. 4 at-bats against Burns. He has 3 strikeouts and 4 at-bats. Give me over 1.5 there. Great pick.
Wow.
All right, I guess that's the only pick. And, Coach, bless you.
That was a cough.
Oh, then fuck you.
But thank you.
You could have just said thank you. Anyway, let's head to Philadelphia. We headed to Citizens Bank Ballpark. We have the Nationals rolling in. Taijuan Walker and Griffin. I don't know enough. Honestly, I mean, this is Phillies or pass, right? I don't know after what I just seen from the Philadelphia's lineup that I really want to lay 175. And I definitely don't know that I want to lay it on Taijuan Walker. What about you, Luke?
I do. I kind of do. I don't know. I mean, I know you said juice doesn't matter. I love Philly to smoke the Nationals. The Nationals played out of their it was just an opening series fluke against the Cubs. Like you said, the Cubs are not as good as we thought. Nationals won 2 out of 3. I think they get smoked tonight. I like Philly in a lot of ways. And because Taijuan Walker actually has really good numbers against the Nationals. Just look at his numbers. A 180 opponent batting average. So as much as Walker may feel, questionable, great numbers against his team. So Philly, I do love for a prop because I like Philly. Foster Griffin is on the mound for Washington. Take under 13.5 outs. I don't think he gets far in this game. Phillies were the 6th best OPS against lefties last year. I have Griffin projected for just 65 pitches. Take the under. Take Philly. Book it. Woo! Fired up.
Did he say woo?
Yeah, like that.
I'm going to cut off
the weather. the weather's going to be beautiful. 66 degrees at Philadelphia. So I mean,
I love this game. Yeah.
I'm happy for you. What about you, Coach?
I mean, you got to back Philly or nothing. Washington's going to be one of the worst teams in the majors this year. That Griffin kid, by the way, actually not a kid. He's 30 years old. He played in Japan for the last 3 years, I think, and he was an all-star actually last year. So I mean, that's pitching to Japanese. So I don't know. You know, I maybe he does go under. I don't know if you have him projected for 65 pitches. I don't think he's going to do well if that's the projection. And then their bullpen is terrible. So, you know, it's got to be Phillies or nothing here.
Well, if they're projecting him for 65, then how can his out total be 13.5? That kind of doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I think that's probably the best look, right? Like under the 13.5. Yeah. I mean, that really might be the best look, especially if he's projected for 60, 65 pitches. I mean, fuck, I know the Phillies aren't the most patient team at the you know, in the box, but still, I mean, I would think that that's probably a good look.
You know, and another thing, and you know, take it for what it's worth, but when Washington travels to Philly, they typically just don't win. They've lost like 12 of the last 15, you know, like they go there and they tend to lose more than they win. So
that's true. It's just hard to wrap my mind around laying 175 with Taiwan Walker. Yeah,
I think the last comment I'll make, because I'm going to fade Washington as much as I can while they're underpriced. So
should I say first 5, lay the half?
I mean, maybe. But like, guys, the Nationals, did you see their preseason win projection? 65. The only team worse is the Rockies. So like the only team worse is Colorado. Washington's going to be garbage. I'm just going to keep fading them while the price is still reasonable. So.
All right, you heard it here. Listen, I don't have a problem with that. You know, listen, and I actually think that you're getting probably a sale because of what Washington did to the Cubs, right? You know, so this number would probably be, you know, closer to 200 if they were 1-2 instead of 2-1. It's crazy how that works. But the maths. Anyway, you have a look here, Coach, or is it just the Phillies?
Phillies, yeah, it's Phillies or pass, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, before we move on, guys, special. Posted in the description down below. You get a 2-for-1, right? You get 1 week MLB. You get both Coach Rick and Luke Shuey. So you get all props from Luke Shuey in MLB. You get all of Coach Rick's plays in MLB, including his max bets, which were closer to fucking 70% last year. So you get all of them right now for 1 week, $99. Link in the description below. We'll also post that link in the chat here. Guys, you can't beat that. Like, you get 2-for-1. 2 of the best minds in baseball for the price of 1 week, $99. You get both Coach Rick and Luke Shuey. All of their plays, all of their max bets, all of their selections in MLB for 7 days. Guys, $99 1 week. And you can only get that here. That's the best part about this, right? All right. I said all that. Let's move on. Speaking of guys who pitched over in Asia, we have Ponce and Seguano. Actually, 2 guys who pitched over in Asia. Right, the Colorado Rockies headed to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. I might, be suffering from foot and mouth disease. This lineup looks real, man. Like, the Blue Jays lineup looks real, and now they're adding another arm who pitched in Asia. What did he pitch? Did he pitch in the KBO? Or did he pitch in Japan?
Yeah, he was KBO. Yep,
KBO, right? This kid's a beast.
Dealing last year,
and Seguano coming over from the Birds. Seguano's terrible. Like, bottom line, the kid is awful. So it's going to be Blue Jays or nothing. Look, so what I'll do with the Blue Jays is I'll either lay the 293. Yep, not scared of the juice. Or I'll put them in like a money line parlay. Maybe a Blue Jays Phillies money line parlay. Since these guys are so big on the Phillies and the Fanatics, maybe I'll look to parlay the 2 of them. Maybe that's what I'll do here on the show. At least I haven't gotten to the window with anything in Major League Baseball yet. Coach, what do you like here?
Yeah, it's Blue Jays all the way. It also brings up the Coach Rick trivia question of the day.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't even know. Here we go. Oh, yeah, so guys, now let's do this the right way. Yeah. Coach is going to ask you guys a trivia question, right? And then you're going to have 30 seconds to respond. And it's not just the first, and then the first one within those 30 seconds who gets it correct is going to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Oh, by the way, did your ride or die cash the other day, Luke?
No, it was one of my losses. It was one of my few losses on the show. Yeah,
sorry. All right, so we'll have to bring it back today. What we'll do? We'll bring that back today. I wasn't going to do them both on the same day, but that's fine. Since it didn't cash, we'll bring back a ride or die. Luke, you can start combing to the questions, and anybody who's sitting there, tickling your plums, you could have their name already ready. Anyway, so Coach Rick trivia. Let me get the stopwatch ready.
Get the timer ready.
Ponzu's been giving me shit. For
Ponzu, Babe Ruth, man.
Ponzu, I love you. You can't hate on my Monday enthusiasm. I'm bringing the heat.
He's like a little child. You guys don't understand. Luke is like a little child, right? All right, so here we go. Let's go. Coach Rick trivia for $100 Amazon gift card from the good folks here at whylose.com.
Cody Ponce will start for the Blue Jays today. Cody Ponce is married to the sister of an NFL tight end who is Cody Ponce's brother-in-law.
This is, I did not see this coming. This is a good one.
A white lady. What if he's gay?
We got the answer already. The first one I saw is Jonathan P87 with Mr. George Kittle.
That is correct.
There we go.
Emma
was
Kittle.
he the first one who responded?
Yeah, that's what
like of all, because I saw the Hunter. Oh yeah, it was. All right, you know what? At least we have to shorten that. That's a little bit too long. Either people know it or they fucking don't. Right? Like, so we'll shorten it to 15 seconds moving
15,
forward.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. But you know what it is? I'm trying to decipher how long it'll take for somebody to type it in. But then I'm thinking about the way I type, and I'm like this on a fucking keyboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what? I have to remember that, like my son, will sit there and type and he's like, you know what I mean? So I have to kind of think along the, their terms instead of mine. Yeah, guys, it's already been answered. It's already been won. Is the first answer came in. Guy, congrats. You know what? Bernsey will tell you how to get your Amazon gift card. Yeah, but we're going to start. My chat GPT wasn't quick enough. That's exactly what it is, man. That's exactly what it is. My chat GPT wasn't quick enough. That wasn't it. Oh, I knew it. Yeah, of course you knew it. But you were in the middle of a set. Gains, bro. Slap that iron. All right. Anyway, no, congrats to the winner. Guys, we're going to start chopping that into half to 15 seconds. That shit was hard. But I like the guys who try to, melt the brains trying to sit there and figure it out, right? So I think for us, it was Blue Jays or nothing. Luke, you have anything here?
Yeah, a quick pick that I do like. You guys brought up the name Cody Ponce, trivia question. He's a cool story because he hasn't pitched in the MLB since 2021. So, guys, last time Cody Ponce on a big league mound was COVID. Like, that's a cool story. He's come back. And the kicker for me here is his spring training numbers. I know we always put an asterisk on spring training, but he had a .66 ERA, 0.8 whip, 12 strikeouts in 13 innings. He was electric. He has a new changeup that he used in the KBO. Got a lot of swings and misses. So he's facing the Rockies. Quick prop, lean. Cody Ponce over 5.5 strikeouts. Don't think any longer on it. Just ride.
All right, guys, there you go. So did you have a play here or not, Luke?
Yeah, Ponce over 5.5 strikeouts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was talking to Birdsey. I muted myself. I was talking to Birdsey while you were giving your read.
Ponce over 5.5 Ks. Say no more.
But I listen to everything Luke says. I promise. Anyway, we're headed to Atlanta. Truist Park. Athletics rolling in. 0-3 Athletics taking on the Braves. Elder and Lopez. I'll let you guys take this one away. I mean, look, I thought the Braves bats would be better. They were a little bit better than they were last year. I definitely do think they're live to make the playoffs this year, unlike Luke's take last year. Luke, you want to double down here?
Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to take a Brave here because this is an insane bargain price for Ronald Acuna Jr. He's 20 years old.
Matata. Let's go.
Acuna Matata. I will make this one quick. Just take his combo stat over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs because it's as low as you'll see it all season. He's 1 for 12. Didn't look good in the first series, but he's facing an A's pitching staff. Give me over his stat category and don't think anymore.
I'm not hating that at all. What about you, Coach?
I'd lean towards Atlanta on the money line, but I'll ask Luke's opinion of this take because I feel like it's the best take for me. I'm not a great big fan of Bryce Elder, but he did pitch well in the last month of last season. He had an okay spring, but his strikeout prop set at 4.5, priced about -130. The A's have struck out 47% of the time so far. I
It's
know
insane.
that's going to change. I know it's going to change. They're averaging like 16 Ks a game, but it's going to change. But even if they cut it in half, like I feel like Bryce Elder can strike out 5 of these dudes.
I will second that, Coach. It's a great handicap there. With how much the A's are striking out, you almost have to take it until they stop. Yeah.
I almost liked Atlanta in this spot until I looked at the price. 136 to me seems short. Yeah. Like I know that Luke, Luke's future was on the A's, and he thinks that their win total.
I like them.
I don't. I told you I disagreed. I disagree with the market. Everybody's higher on the Athletics than I am. I don't think they're going to be that good. And matter of fact, if they're going to get their wins, they have to get their wins on the road because they play in such a small park. And I think other lineups are equipped to be better, in Sacramento than the A's are.
But they played pretty good the first. Yeah, I think it's because they didn't play bad at Toronto. They lost 3-2 in a flip of a coin game at opening day. Then they went to extras and lost by 1 to Toronto. Yesterday's game not as good, but like they didn't play bad. I think the A's are. I think this is an A's line in my opinion. But I'll let you guys handicap the line.
No. See, that's my point. Is like I said, I was looking towards Atlanta. I mean, first off, I'm never gonna condone backing Elder. Like I will say that. I don't mind a strikeout prop like Coach was talking about, but I'm never going to condone backing Elder. I don't think that's a good move. That's not financially sound moving forward. And I was looking to back the Braves, but then I looked at this price and I was like, something tells the market is telling you that the Braves are the wrong side here, that the A's are the right side. You're talking about the Athletics in Atlanta at plus 113.
Yeah, that's
incredibly short.
I think it's a great take, Jay. I think it's an A's line. I just want to bring up one more. I'm sorry, I'm so chatty on this topic, but look at remember last year on the show we talked about Bryce Elder. He had games where he gave up 5, 9, 6, 8, and 5 runs. Like he was like just absolutely getting walloped last season. It was crazy.
So I mean, are the Athletics really that much better because they have a Max Muncy in their lineup? Like seriously, you're assuming that these young. No, I'm just saying you're assuming that these young bats are going to be better, right? Like, but that's an assumption. Or is it more so that these young bats looked better last year because they were playing in the small park, right? Like, so I mean, everybody's handicap is that the A's are going to be so good. This lineup is going to be so good. Their pitching staff is ass. Let's get that understood. Their pitching staff is ass, right? Now, and the fact that their lineup is going to be better, I mean, it's a fucking hypothesis. It's a guess at best, right? Like, I don't even think it's an educated guess at that. I think it's an assumption because they play in a small park. I just don't agree with the take. I mean, that could be, look, I don't mind being contrarian on that because I know everybody's bigger on this Athletics team than I am, but I just don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. Anything from anybody?
I'm just going to say I like the A's.
The hypothesis is 0-3 right now. So
yeah, that's right.
And it's a small sample size. And
listen, I think everything is a small sample size here, right?
Yeah,
of course.
We got to wait and see if they do hit the ball.
But it's not like they went on the road and played the Dodgers. It's not like they went on the road and played the Yankees. Boom, boom. They went on the road and played the Blue Jays, right? Like, no, listen. Now, my point to that is the Blue Jays didn't hit all that well in the series, right? Like the Blue Jays are going to be even better than they were in that series. So, and still they got swept, right? Like, so you were catching the Blue Jays when they were vulnerable and you still couldn't fucking scratch out a win. And now, as you move forward, it's only going to get harder and harder and harder. So, I mean, look, the number, screams Athletics. Maybe when we talk about first fives, maybe the new edge in first fives is something here with like the Athletics first 5 plus a half run, or maybe Athletics full game plus a run and a half, even though you're playing a little bit of sugar on top of that. But I'd like to have that 1.5 runs in my pocket because I don't see the Braves really pulling away from too many teams moving forward anyway. Coach, what do you think about that? Either of those?
No, I could buy either one of them really. And I prefer to take underdogs early. But I also like a better pitching matchup. I'm like I said, I'm not a great fan of Elder, but Jacob Lopez on the other end, am I a fan of him? He had over a 4 ERA last year too. So If you force me to take one, I'd probably go the full game with that run and a half in my pocket.
Agree. All right, let's move on to Chicago. Wrigley, where are the winds blowing? Somebody look that up for me. Wrigley Field. Is there rain in the forecast? No, that's the sun. Cloudy. All right. So we have the Angels rolling in, take on the Cubs. Cubs are laying 194. Again, this is a big fucking price for a team that's 1-2 with Cabrera on the mound. I mean, I know Cabrera is supposed to be electric, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I gotta see him pitch.
We'll say again.
I got to see him pitch.
Exactly.
And especially at Wrigley. Last year he's pitching in Miami. We saw him, and I liked him. I backed him a number of times, but now he's in Wrigley Field. The wind's blowing out. It's 80 degrees, I think, there too. So, and that Johnson kid for the Angels, I mean, he could turn out to be a stud.
They said they like his stuff, right? Like, so, and
he had a great spring.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He had a great spring. This is just too big of a number for me to lay with a Cubs team that's 1-2 and just couldn't hit the fucking ball. I mean, they did, what was that, game 2? What was that, Saturday? When I had him in the first 5. I also had him in a money line parlay with the Dodgers, and he cashed for both of those for me. But yeah, I can't lay 194. Even though Cabrera is obviously, I don't care how good Johnson is, he's not going to be as good as Cabrera is. Cabrera does have electric stuff, right? Like, so, but I can't lay 194 with the Cubs. And the Angels have been battling, right? But I would have liked the Angels a lot more had they been able to pull off one of those game 3 or 4 against the Astros. But the fact that, they held the Astros down tells me it was more about pitching in games 1 and 2 because they shut them out in game 1, 3-0. So it was maybe a little bit more about the Astros lineup than it really was about the Angels. So I don't know. Look, again, it's early in the season, so you're going to hear a lot of this over the next couple of days. But then as we have information and as the information, comes in, you're going to have much more definitive moves, I feel. Luke, you have anybody to target here?
This is a back to the sandwich game. I got nothing.
Okay.
I really don't. These are 2 question mark pitchers, so stay away.
Yeah.
Coach, you committing to anything here?
No, can't do it.
So what would be your lean in this game?
Over
in the game? Yeah, I don't mind the over. The wind's blowing out.
That is the only
the wind's blowing out. It's hot. You're going to get to the bullpens.
It's the only thing I had circled as a lean was like an over offensive prop. So I guess I agree.
All right, there you go. The coach leans over. Nothing for me here either. We're gonna head to. That's right, American Family Field. The Rays are rolling in. Oh, we have the Brewers and the Rays. Brewers are laying 163. I will say this. Best bet on the show right now. Give me the fucking Brewers money line. I don't care. I'll lay the 163. All you had to say was Rays and Nick Martinez, and I'm sold. Sold.
Done.
I'm in. Done. Sold. Give me the
did you see how this is like the worst combination possible? Do you see how bad the Rays pitching was against St. Louis?
Well, I'm going to argue this, right?
Oh my God.
Well, not in game 1 of the series. They shut him down. The Rays shut him down in game 1. What was that? Rasmussen. Rasmussen shut the Cardinals down.
Well, for a little while.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. We had the Cardinals in game 1 with Liberatore, right? And that was the game that the Cardinals won as a short dog. And then in games 2 and 3, they shut the Cardinals down. My bad. So it was kind of opposite there, right? I'm gonna say this. The Rays develop pitchers.
Dude, nobody shut down anyone in that series. It was 11-7, 9-7, 6-5. Like their staff sucked.
I thought the first game was a low scoring game.
It was until they got to the Rays pen and then they blew
up. Oh, okay. I think we locked in first 5. Okay, so that's what it was. Is the Cardinals in the first 5 plus they have a run, and then we just stopped looking at the game. Or at least I stopped looking at the game because the game at that point had no meaning to me whatsoever. I love the Brewers in this spot, and I think 163 is short considering the situation, and considering that you have Nick Martinez and the fucking Rays lineup. Although I'm not big on the Rays lineup. I told you guys the first full show of the season that I think this team is going to finish bottom 5. Coach, what do you think?
I mean, this is all when Nick Martinez's name comes up, it's like an auto fade. And if you remember from last year, he's not a very good major league pitcher, and he showed it last year, and he showed it for the last however many years whoever's had him on their staff. But his spring, how about these spring numbers? And then you make the roster. This is just hilarious. You pitch 13 and 2/3 innings. You give up 29 hits.
Wait, no way, really?
29. 5 dingers.
That's hilarious.
That's
Earned
2
runs.
hits per inning.
Yeah, you
2
ready
hits
for
per
the,
inning.
you ready for the earned runs?
That is fucked.
22.
Oh God.
Wait, I didn't even
22
see that.
fucking- How do you do that? Like, how do you make the roster?
That's
Like,
jaw
you're
dropping.
pitching
Holy
back.
Well,
shit.
listen, for everybody in the comments,
Jesus.
anybody watching, I'll tell you this. What that
Wow.
states is if you have a son, put a hard ball in his hand, get him out on the mound right now,
Oh yeah.
have him start hurling, right?
Especially if he's
Because if
left-handed.
Nick Martinez can pitch in the bigs, so can he.
So can the
Right?
3 shoey boys. No.
Oh God.
There you
Yeah,
go.
oh, for sure. And
There
make
you
one
go.
of them left-handed, please.
And tell
God.
them something that they don't know about Luke. You know what? The kid, all 3 of those boys might have a little bit of height to them. Luke, tell them how tall
Yes.
you are.
I'm 6'5" on a good day. So yeah, we
There you
got a
go.
little.
I like it.
On
Yeah.
a good
Got some
day.
height.
So the boys are gonna have some height, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they
just
should.
hopefully they'll look like Mrs. Shuey and not Luke, right?
That's
other
for
than
sure.
other than that, they're gonna be good. Yeah. So listen, I get you guys didn't know. Yep, Luke is 6'5", big dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a
tall
little,
dude.
I'm a little lanky dude, but coach, thank those numbers. Thank you for sharing. Jay, doesn't that make you just love the Brewers more here? I mean,
Listen. This is so far. This is my favorite spot on the board as far as
Yeah.
price and matchup goes, right? Like, so I mean, do I like the Dodgers better? So obviously, I'm just going to ride the Dodgers until they tell me I shouldn't anymore, right? Same thing with the Yankees. I'm just going to keep riding them until they tell me that I shouldn't anymore. But I'll tell you this right now, as far as price goes, this is probably the best value on the board in my eyes.
I love it. I'll quick finish with a prop lean. It aligns with this. It's William Contreras, Brewers, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He hasn't looked great the first few games, but he is in their 2 or 3 hole, usually the second hitter. He is going to have a big season. So Contreras, take the over, which aligns perfectly with the Brewers.
All right, Luke. You know what? Why don't you tell them where we're headed now?
We are going to. Oh, I don't have a beer on me.
Why don't you
Bush.
tell where we're headed? We're headed
The
to
Bush.
Yeah, there we go. If you want to see a show unravel, just say Bush. You know what I'm saying?
Bush.
At least for the 3 of us. Like, and they go in all different
Bush.
directions. Luke looks for beer. Coaches, Mrs. Bo in the background is running away as
did.
soon as we
She
start
went.
talking about Bush.
She
So
went
here we
quicker, you
are.
never
We
know.
are in Bush. We have Burnsy's Mets rolling in. The 2-1 New York Mets gave one away yesterday, and then the St. Louis Cardinals. Holmes. Listen. This is a Mets spot. Anytime I could trade. Listen, matter of fact, the fact that I'm going to be able to fade the Cardinals and they're 2-1, I just feel even more excited about that situation, right? Like that opportunity is even better. Is that the fact that the Cardinals won the series against the Rays? Because I think that speaks volumes to how bad the Rays are and says nothing about this Cardinals team. Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's Mets all the way. I don't know if you so this is another game that's in that pocket of weather in the Midwest. So high heat and high winds, which are blowing out toward, I think it's left field at that stadium. Both bullpens are taxed. So, I wouldn't mind a Mets team total over either. I think Holmes is the better pitcher. Leahy was a reliever last year. They're throwing him in the number 4 slot here. I think the Mets would get all over him. And it's going to be on the card. It's Mets money line.
So is this going to be a bullpen day for them, or is he starting? Is he actually starting?
They have him listed as their number 4 starter.
Okay, for the season then. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So guys, just be careful of one thing, right? If you're looking for Leahy's stats for at least for this game, he's a bullpen guy, so they may keep him in for an inning or two, kind of like they were doing like the Yarbroughs of the world and the Robbie Rays of the world. So just be careful if you're looking to his props, because I don't think his props going to be actively priced. So you may be able to catch Luke will tell you whether or not that's good or bad.
Yeah, all the analytics are saying take the unders, but it's because his pitch count was always so low. I had to stay away because some of my other reading that I did preseason showed that they do expect him to throw like 80 to 90 pitches today. So I got conflicting info, so I'm actually staying away, but I couldn't agree more with both of your takes. It's a Mets spot. I actually didn't have a prop circle besides take the Mets first 5, half a run is what I circled. I like them in this spot. So it's Mets definitely for me. And I couldn't agree more with Jay's take on the Cardinals being ass and the Rays being worse. So co-sign that.
This is definitely a Mets spot for me. And to some guys, just so you guys understand, like when it comes to pitchers, right? Some guys are just too good for the minors, but they're not quite developed. but they're not good enough for the starting rotation. But they have a shorter pitch mix. So if you have like 2 or 3 that you throw well, teams like the Cardinals will throw you in the pen and let you develop into a starter. And sometimes that's really all that is, right? So, I mean, Coach, you agree with that? You have anything to add on to that?
Yeah. Well, no, you take a guy that, like you said, he should be he should be up in MLB, and you take him and you put him in the bullpen, and then he's the guy that you're going to use. You got a guy that comes out in the 4th, 3rd, 4th.
Well, you have guys
inning.
that come out in the 2nd because they just don't have
Yeah,
it, right?
go look at the Mets. Yeah, look at the Mets with all the BS in the first game with Skeens. They had, Pittsburgh had to go to the bullpen. Who do you bring in? Like, somebody's got to pitch a bulk of innings, and that's where those type of kids can get the work. They can pitch 3, maybe even 4 innings in the middle of a game and get some experience, working their pitch mix.
Yeah, it's a guy that teams look to as their 6th and 7th starter, which is usually they have, like, usually the list that they have, where guys that are working out of the bullpen, but they're more so long innings, guys there to eat up innings. Yeah. Go ahead, Luke, what you saying?
I was going to comment one more thing. The coach just talked about, like, weather patterns and like the Mets team total over. I have a question for you guys, and or just a comment. It's interesting when you look at the totals in today's games, they are expecting runs in a lot of these games. So historically, we'll see, like, across the board, depending on pitching matchups, like 7.5, 8, 8.5, maybe a 9, of course, with outliers like Coors Field. Today, look at the board, 10, 9, 9.
Yeah, that's because of the weather in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Plus the ABS system, maybe. There's a lot of different factors, but
it also has a lot to do with the weather in the Midwest, right?
I was just going to ask you guys: is it just an over day then? Like, I mean, are we going to just see tons of?
No,
runs?
because they're pricing it that way too, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're not doing you a fucking favor, right? Like, they're not saying, hey, or basically, look, we're pricing this at 10, so you should take the over. They're pricing it accordingly, right? And all it takes is that first one to go under or way under. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see the market start moving towards it, right? Because that first game will give you a real indication of what the weather in St. Louis is going to be like. Won't it? So I think what you'll see with the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals is if those runs aren't really being produced as projected, you're going to see the market start to shift towards the under.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I think you're seeing 9.5s on the board, especially early in the season. I mean, it's, you don't see that many 9.5s and 10s this early. And if that first game's like a 4-3 game, 3-2 even, like, you're going to see some numbers start.
This number's going to come down. People are going to start hitting unders in the later games, especially, or even if it's just the first couple of innings, they're struggling, especially against those starters. You're going to start to see numbers start to come down.
I love it. Good intel. Thank you, guys. Thank you, gentlemen.
And Coach, you have anything more to add here, or is it just we're on the Mets here?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And listen, just because I'm off of first fives, don't be afraid to give out your first fives, Coach. I know you've made a fortune.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to talk you out of anything. I'm just telling you guys how I see it.
I'm glad you brought that up because I look forward to Coach's first fives. He dominates them. So yeah.
Well, that's because you can't last more than 5, Luke.
But
I have no comeback.
Let's head to Houston. This is a game that the guys and I had spoke about earlier. Boston Red Sox are rolling in. We have Ranger Suarez and Lance McCullers. Luke, why don't you lead it off with your lean?
Yeah, so I know we talked pre-show, and you guys can disagree. My lean is Red Sox here, and I'll tell you how to get there to the window with the props. I just love
before you go any further.
Yeah.
It's not that I disagree. You asked me my opinion. I said I won't do a deep dive until after the show, but I had buts. We don't know if Lance McCullers is going to be Lance McCullers, right? And it's Ranger fucking Suarez is what Coach added. Matter of fact, in those words.
So
Ranger
I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say.
Suarez.
If you can't tell, I'm wearing the hat because I love the Sox. McCullers last year was one of the worst pitchers in baseball. He had a 6.551 ERA. Suarez was actually really solid, 3.2 ERA.
But McCullers in a small sample size.
Very small sample size. But you're getting the Sox at, I think, the biggest discount you'll get all year. Astros lineup is horrible. Sox is dominant, but they did not hit the first series. They're going to only explode, if anything. So I think it's a bargain. The way I'm getting to the window with the props is Suarez almost always pitches 5 innings. If you record him to get a win today, it's plus 240. I am smacking that as a bonus play. It's plus 240. Give me Suarez to get a win. Book.
Here's my issue. The Sox are 1-2 right now, right? And that one win was with who on the mound? Crochet.
It was Garrett Crochet. Yeah.
One of the top 5 pitcher in all of the bigs, right? I get it. Like we were talking about the A's. Projections are through the roof. The Sox lineup projections are through the roof. But what do we know? We don't know anything. We know that they're 1-2, and their one win wasn't that high of a scoring game with their best pitcher on the mound and one of the best pitchers in the majors, which we do know. That's information we have, right? Like, and who was it against?
The Reds. So Andrew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's my problem. Not that it's the wrong side. It's that with the information I have, I can only look to Houston. Now, granted, I said this on the show last week, and I'll reinstate it. I don't believe in and I don't trust that Houston lineup either, right? And with Lance McCullers, I don't know if he's going to pitch back into form of who he was or is last year who he now is, right? Coach, I mean, and I kind of think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. What do you think, Coach?
Well, you're not going to get the Lance McCullers that had the absolute best curveball in the majors. Like it was just nasty. So you're not going to get that. I don't think he can be as bad as he was last year, but he comes out in the spring. I think he only pitched 8 or 9 innings and he had 4 or 5 walks. So control is still an issue for him. So if he's putting guys on base, like that gets dangerous. And Houston's bullpen, it's kind of sketchy. So this is one of those games where, somebody mentioned something in the chat. Yeah, go Sox, Red Sox. If you're all over Boston, that's fine. And if you can make a case for it, great. But for me, this is one where I say the best bet that I can make is one that I don't make.
So what about the over?
Stay away.
What about the over, though? Well, Ranger Suarez is going to get hit, right?
Yeah,
I think
so.
we've seen that even Houston's always going to be able to or should be able to hit a lefty, right? Like we're pretty confident in that. We said that about
they hit lefties. Yes.
It's a lineup of righties, and they should be able to hit the lefty. And I get it.
I disagree.
They're not consistent. And then Lance McCullers is wild, right? And if Lance McCullers, has a problem with control, then the Sox should be able to put runners on, and the Sox should be able to put up runs as well. So then why not look to one of the shorter under totals on the board tonight and just go over the short 8.5?
Can you get it? Yeah. Can you get an 8.5 still?
It's every 8.5 pretty much everywhere.
Okay. I wouldn't mind that. Or I could get talked into it. Yeah.
Well, I just did. Now
You just
press the button.
talked into it.
What about you, Luke?
I'm taking Suarez to get a win, and even if it loses, that's fine because the value at 240 is insane. I'm going to cash that ticket and be happy heading into tomorrow.
All right, there you have it. Coach and I'm definitely leaning towards the over in this spot, right? I think both pitchers can get touched. I'm not confident in one team rather than the other. Granted, the Sox lineup is projected to be one of the better in the bigs, and I project it that way. I just haven't seen it yet. And Houston, you know what? Guys, stay the fuck away from Houston. If you have kids, teen kids, keep them out of fucking Houston. There's a pandemic in Houston going around. You go to Houston and you come back with a lot more than a vacation and a story, right? So I'm just saying right now, stay the fuck away from Houston. And I love Houston. I've always loved Houston, right? But right now, just stay the fuck away from Houston. Anyway, at least that's my take. That's my best bet for this game. Stay the fuck
away from Houston.
Especially if you have kids like you looking for spring break. That is not the place you want to be.
No,
you're catching bodies literally. Anyway, let's move on. We're gonna head to Seattle. My New York Yankees roll in. Weathers, one of the better pickups in the offseason, and Castillo, who I think is fucking done. I think he's gonna get tattooed tonight. Yankees at a 115. You already know where I'm going, right? You already know where I'm going. I am wearing a Yankee hat, right? That's right. Take the Yankees. Luke. Give me something on it.
I have a prop I actually love. If anyone, a lot of books, you should be able to bet pitcher walks. Castillo is going to walk guys tonight. Please bet him to have 2+ walks. Obviously, we know the Yankees lineup is stacked. They're also very patient. And last year, Castillo to open the season, this is a good stat. 2025, He walked 2 or more guys the first 9 starts. He didn't not walk 2 guys until the end of May or early June, I think it was. So Castillo, 2+ walks tonight. Book it.
Yankees.
Yep, that's it.
I mean,
Right? Like short, sweet, simple.
And I would take them in the first 5 here too if I can find. I mean, the pricing should be all right.
I mean, you can. It's there. You know what? You might
just
have to.
because, and the reason why they are 2-0-1 right now in the first 5. And again, we said it last year. We're going to keep taking them in the first 5 till they tell us not to. So I'm going to keep doing it.
I have no arguments there whatsoever. Although I've sworn off first 5s unless it's an underdog for me personally. So and plus the Yankees, I don't want to discard the Yankees bullpen, right? Like it's one of the better bullpens in the big. So I want the bullpen included, and especially if Weathers comes out and doesn't hold it down early, and they got to go early. I mean, I'm not discarding coach's pick. I like the pick. I'm just not looking to play a first 5 this early in the season. I want more information, and I absolutely want the Yankees bullpen involved. Bernsey, what did you say the first 5 was? Oh, I thought you gave me those numbers. Well, it's 115, 105, so it was slightly juiced towards the Yankees. What?
Juiced toward, yeah. Okay.
120. So the first 5 is 120 minus 120. So the books agree. The market agrees. They think the Yankees are early in this game, so they think it's going to tighten up later. Look, I'm on the Yankees. Coach likes the Yankees first 5. And Luke, you had
Castillo 2+ walks, so fading Castillo. Yep,
which coincides with everything that we're looking at too. Love it when we all align. All right, let's move on to San Diego. I'm J.A. Cavalier. We have the Giants rolling in with the San Diego Padres. Padres laying 118 here. How does my San Francisco Giant team total under look so far? Gotta love it.
It looks defeated, your pick looks undefeated. Yeah.
Roop and Bueller. I mean, listen. So if you ask me, the Giants obviously have the pitching edge here, right? Like it's fucking Walker Bueller. It's Walker fucking Bueller. So I mean, I watched this guy implode. In Boston last year. Over. That's my look because I think both of these guys get touched early and often, right? It's gonna be like a Diddy party. So you know what?
Island.
Yeah. Lost connection. Do you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
we're good.
Well, what's up with? Why is there a picture of Duke?
That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I'm not a Duke fan, guys. Like
I'm wondering, is that John Shire in the middle?
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck.
So.
This has to be Guns.
That's the thing that Guns used. Yeah,
and I'm not trolling Guns right now. I'm not trolling him. I promise you, I am not trolling Guns right now. I just had to show that. I'm not trolling him. Although it was probably the worst collapse in college basketball I've ever seen.
Oh God!
If Guns is in the chat, I'm sorry, Guns. Like it really wasn't me fucking something. The battery just died on the camera. So I guess as long as you guys can hear me, that's good enough. Actually, you probably like it even better. And I could sit here and do anything now. You guys would never even know I'm doing it. So
yeah, true.
Listen. My apologies and my heart goes out to all of those who backed Duke yesterday. I feel fucking awful for you guys. I'm not upset that a Big East team moved on. Definitely not. Go UConn. Although my new favorite team in college basketball has become the Fighting Illini. Just the fact that they're all European, warms my heart, right?
They're so good.
Bunch of Croatian, Peja Stojakovic's kid. Look, and that kid Wagler is probably the best young player I've seen. Fuck Peterson. I'll take Wagler. Like that kid contorts his body when he gets to the rim in ways that a guy that size should not be able to. It's just sick. And his game is pretty complete, right? And more important, he plays. And like they say, the best ability, of course, is availability. So talk about this game. Listen, I think the Padres, I like the Padres in this spot. I like the Giants. Look, you know what they say, you don't try to catch a falling knife. And the Giants look every bit as bad as their 0-3 start. And I think the Padres are better than their 1-2. I just think they caught a team with a great pitching staff. I mean, it's going to be hard to top the Tigers' top 3 arms, right? Coach, who do you like here? You like your Detroit Tigers, even though you're a Pirate fan, but we'll call them. I'm saying Detroit Tigers.
What? Are we on the Giants and Padres or what?
We're on the Giants and Padres. Who do you like here?
Okay. I actually don't like either one of them, but I would actually would take a look at the over, just because like you said, I think both pitchers, are in for a rude awakening. Roop, or however you say his name, great, solid pitcher, but his WHIP was over 1.4 last year. So he, I think in the spring he had some issues with control, with some walks and stuff. And we all know Buehler, he gave up 11 earned runs in the spring in 15 innings, walked a bunch of dudes. Same shit, same stuff that he did last year. So if the over is still is it 7.5 or 8? Is it in that?
I can.
Or is it up to 8.5?
Right now.
I'm seeing 8.5, but
it is 8.5.
I'm seeing 8.
If it's 8, I'll take the over at 8.
So do you not like it? I mean, is that where your edge stops at 8, or do you like it at 8.5 as well?
I don't like it as much at 8.5.
Okay. So he's going to be on a hard 8. Just remember that he's on the hard 8 here. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, this might be a little against what you guys said, but the Giants, let's not forget, yes, they were playing the Yankees. They scored 1 run in 3 games. They have one fucking run on the board. So because of that, I'm actually going to back whoever's pitching against them for the time being. I like a 2-leg parlay here. It'll pay plus 130. Take Walker Buehler under 2.5 earned runs. So that's under 2.5. And then take Tatis Jr. to have at least 1 hit tonight. He hasn't looked great, and he's hitting again, but he's 5 for 8 against Roop in his career. That's Buehler under 2.5 earned runs, Tatis Jr. to have a hit, plus 130 payout. I love it. Book it, book it, book it.
I don't mind that. I'm on the Padres. Coach likes the over. There you go. 2 more games to go. Let's head to the home of the World Series champions. That's right, Dodger Stadium. Appropriately named. You don't need to ever give that stadium another name. Just Dodger Stadium does it all. We have the Guardians rolling in. I'm not in love with Sasaki.
Can I lead with this one?
Yes, you can, Luke.
Go right ahead.
I'm excited. I
You
don't know.
go right ahead, big guy.
Because I might need an assist from someone in the chat. But the best prop in this game is Will Smith to have an RBI. So it's plus 150 odds. He already has 5 this year. And I legitimately, I want to bet on Will Smith to lead the MLB in RBIs this year. If someone can bet on that or get me odds, please put it in the chat. He's not the biggest home run hitter in the MLB, so he won't be the favorite in that category, but he's batting cleanup for a historically good Dodgers lineup. Will Smith have an RBI plus 150. I'd love to hear if anyone has the odds for him to lead RBIs in the majors this season. Boom.
Okay, I just want to clear something up. Obviously, we have a Padre and a Giant fan going back and forth in the comments. I'm teasing, but Giants are absolutely not stacked. After Devers, I don't know what you have, right? And I don't even know that Devers is the same Devers as was in Boston. I mean, I get it that you took Arias or you signed Arias, but he hasn't really done shit. And I'm not as big on him. I mean, he had one really great season with the Marlins, and then he shit the bed in San Diego. So I don't really know what you have. If you have anything there in San Francisco, as I started this, the season with when we did the opening show, is I took their team total under. I very well believe that they could be 0-6 by the time this Padres series is over. I really believe that, and I think the team is that bad. But that's just me. And now you're going to have Webb pitching the 3rd game of this series on the road, which is where you fade Webb. So. That's just my opinion. Anyway, you guys already know. I mean, again, you can get the Dodgers until it no longer pays to do so. I just don't see a weakness in this fucking team. Like there were times, not times, the first 2 games actually all 3 games, I believe, in the series, they were down in every single one of those games.
Yeah.
Not one instant, not one pitch, not one half of an inning was I worried about them losing the game. That's the confidence that I have in that team, that if they didn't get it early, it's coming, right? And then they're good enough in the bullpen to hold it once they get it. And then they just keep piling runs on. I just don't see how you beat this team. I really just don't see it. So for me, it's and I also feel like the Guardians were a little fortunate to have taken 2 of 3 from the I believe they took 2 of 3, right? They took 2 of 3 from the 2 and 2, so they had a 4-game series. So they went 2 and 2. I believe that's fortunate, right? I actually believe that's a win on the road in Seattle for a team like the Guardians, to split that series. That's not happening here. I just don't see it. Give me the Dodgers here. Coach, what about you?
Does the pitcher scare you though at all? Sasaki?
You know what? I
that,
don't
you know?
know. I don't know what he's going to look like with this lineup behind him. So maybe you want to narrow it to a Dodgers team total. But if you're looking to a Dodgers team total, you know what? I'm going to say what I said last week. You're probably going to have to catch a fair number live. I mean, it's at
Right.
8.5, right? And the fact that they're laying 1.5 and they're favored by 194, close to 200, you're probably going to have to catch that team total at 5.5. If at any ever during any point you catch a team total of the Dodgers at 4.5, for me that's just an auto play. But
you know, I'm surprised that they don't move Sasaki. I honestly thought they'd move Sasaki to the bullpen after what he did in the postseason last year. He had 10 innings pitched, 0.84 ERA in the postseason. Like, he was electric. I'm surprised he's not coming out of the pen, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just maybe the offseason was all he needed.
Maybe.
Because they had arms that they passed on. They had arms that they could have re-signed and arms that they could have kept that they chose not to, right? So I mean, like, they were loaded in the bullpen. You know, if he's pitching in his spot, they might see something. You know, so it's still too early to tell. You know, so look, and I like the lineup behind him enough to back him in this spot, right? And again, I'm just not betting against the Dodgers. I don't see the unless they give me a reason not to bet on them. I'm gonna have to bet on the Dodgers.
To comment on Matthew Price in the chat, he says he says the Dodgers don't have value a lot of times, and he is correct. Last year, if you took Dodgers money line, well,
but last year's a different story. Last year they had no pitching staff.
I'm just saying,
you guys have to remember their 5 starting, their entire rotation at one point was on the IR. Their entire rotation.
Sorry, that's not the point I was making. I was saying, like, this year, eventually their money line is going to be like minus 300 for a lot of games. So that is not value. There is not value in betting that high.
I disagree. I strongly disagree. I disagree. This year, I disagree.
Spots.
You're going to have to pick your spots. You're not going to lay 350, you know, against bad teams,
You
against
can't do
the
it
Nationals or the Rockies, which they'll be at, right? But I think their win percentage is going to be so high this year, even that will be profitable.
I guess we'll see. Because last year it was worse than Nerfies. It was the least profitable thing you could do in baseball. But I'm curious to see if that's possible this year. They'd have to win at about probably an 80+% rate. We'll see what it ends up being. But
considering what they did last year, right? Considering what they did last year with no pitching staff. For a while, they were held down by no pitching staff, right? Like, really, I mean, for a while, they were being held down literally by nobodies. You know, May was getting starts because out of necessity, right?
You had to, yeah.
Now it would be impossible to fathom that what happened last year is going to happen again this year. Hard to imagine that. So even if they have 2 or 3 of their starters at some or any point of the season, but just by definition, they're going to win more games than they did last year, right?
Yeah.
And last year they were already up there in the bigs, you know, as far as win totals go. So
I totally agree. I think the educational point is like,
there's not going to be value.
I think my point with Matthew, and I think he agrees, is you cannot blindly bet them. You will lose money. If you pick your spots, like Jay said, yes. You can make your money on them.
Yeah.
Now the problem that process that we're making is when I'm looking at the Dodgers, I'm also looking to get creative with the Dodgers, right? I'm looking to take the Dodgers and put them in money line parlays, which is where I'm creating an edge and which is where I'm creating value, right? But I'm only looking at their win total. And granted, I'm going to do so in certain situations, certain spots. I'm not just going to lay, you know, but at this point, you know what? You're going to do so consistently. And they just came off of a series about nobody's going to know them better than the Arizona Diamondbacks, right? Nobody's going to know them better than the Padres, better than the Giants, right? Like, so this is going to be should be an easier series for the Dodgers, in my opinion, right? So look, as long as they continue to pay, I'm going to continue to play, and that's just the bottom line. And if at some point they no longer become profitable, that's when I'll back off. But as of right now, you know, and look, another thing you can do, I don't like doing it. I don't like laying the 1.5, but I also stated if there's one team in the bigs that I'll lay the 1.5 with, even at home, it's this one right here.
Dodgers.
And therefore, now you tilt the edge. Now you tilt your value. Now you tilt your projections, right? So there you go. There you have it.
Yeah, that's key education in MLB. Good
Okay.
stuff.
So I'm on the Dodgers. Coach, you on the Dodgers?
Dodgers. I actually had free pick in this game. I put it up on the blog today. It was actually, when Luke brought up Will Smith, I actually took Will Smith over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Sorry,
For
Coach.
the same reasons that you stated. He's like what, 5 for 12 or something, 6 for 13. I don't know, but he has 5 RBIs and a couple of homers already.
So should I just sprinkle in a dinger?
I did not mean to.
Like Luke hit his first Nerfy of the season. I hit my only dinger of the season. Maybe I should go for 2 for 2, and I'll sprinkle on the Will Smith dinger.
I mean, yeah. Sorry to steal your thunder there, Coach. I didn't
I'm
even
not
know
fucking
that.
doing it. That's a terrible.
Oh no, I'm glad you brought it up because now I know now I feel better about myself. How's that?
I love it.
Listen, guys, and just like to reinstate, the only reason why I ended up betting the Aaron Judge home run was because we talked about it so much on this show, and it just became a running theme on the show that day that it just felt, you know what, I had to, right? And it's my money. I also told you at the same time, I don't condone it. I don't think it's a good bet. It's a terrible bet. But for me, I had to sprinkle on it. So that's just.
And then you made two grand. So yeah.
Yes, but I'm a sick degenerate fuck with a bankroll that could choke a horse. Not everybody, is in that spot. And it was my Yankees. It was the only early game on. I told you I was going to be betting that like a degenerate, so I did, right? Like, and again, for me, that's a sprinkle, right? Like, so don't see that $1,000 bet and think, oh, he fucking, no, right. I didn't. That's a small bet for me. You guys have to understand that. That's not a big bet for me. That's not. So, and different spots, different situation. I don't want to make anybody feel any certain way about their situation, but for me, my size play is larger than others. It's just the way it is, right? Anyway, so so both of you guys are pretty much backing Will Smith here, huh?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. One more game.
I like being on that Dodger Island by myself, cashing tickets. I'm happy in my little Dodger Island. So here we go. Verlander, back in Detroit. He and his wife with her Tig old biggies. Anyway, taking on the Diamondbacks and Soraka. They're still married, right?
Yeah, you couldn't talk about Verlander without bringing up the Kate Upton titties. Huh?
Well, you know how you catch a fish like that, right? With a big pole.
Yeah,
Well, if you heard the story about Verlander, I heard he's pitching a line.
That's right.
There ain't nothing to hear. There's photos.
Pitching a line, right?
Tommy Lee, man.
What did you say, Birdie?
I said there ain't nothing to hear. There's photos.
Yeah. So
He reaching down on my man's knee.
Yeah, he's hanging a line, bro. We're talking about third legs. Like so. Hey, good on you. Good on
He's
you.
a tripod.
And you need a girl the size of Kate Upton, because I'm sure she's been used a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Prior to getting.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm gonna get mail from Verlander's camp. Anyway, let's move on. Listen, for me, this spot, it's another one of those situations where, I'm not trying to catch a full-on knife. I wasn't big on the Diamondbacks to start. I'm definitely not big on Soraka. I don't know that I want any part of Verlander either, but if there's anybody who I'm going to trust more in this spot, it's going to be Verlander than Soraka. Maybe I look to a Tigers team total over, or even just a full game over, or maybe even just a pass. What do you say, Coach?
I'll probably have to pass with you. I would trust Verlander more than Soroka. However, he is on the road. So that kind of, that scares me off. It is Detroit at about even money, which seems like the value's more, on Detroit. But like I said it before, the best bets sometimes are ones you don't make. So I'd pass on this one.
Yeah, listen, when we come on this show, we try to give you guys looks, leans, and direction for every single game, right? But our final card is not every game on the board, right? Like, that's why I say your best value, it always pays to pay, right? Like, I say that all the time. It pays to pay. If you want the games that we're actually betting, then you have to buy the package. That's the only really the way to see the games we're getting to the window with and the games that we're fully locked in on. Although when we come on this show, I like to hear Coach's thoughts. I like to hear Luke's thoughts, even though I don't dive into the player market market, player prop market much, or if at all, right? I still like the way to see what Luke is thinking and what he's saying, because they can see whether or not it correlates with anything I'm looking at myself, right? And another thing is this is my first full-out discussion, other than a conversation I have in a group chat with a couple professionals, that I speak to them and I run things by with them. But I like to talk this out just much. So the best way to use this show is to use this show in your own handicap, or if there's a particular capper on the panel that you like and you like, just following that particular capper, that's always a way to do it as well, right? Like, you can't take every single pick that we release on this show and just think that you're going to consistently fucking get rich, right? That's just not the way it's going to be, right? Because there's games that we're talking about in the show that I may like or Coach may likes, and we don't get to the window with. At somewhere, in the cutting room, they end up on the fucking floor and not in the film, right? Like, so that's the way you have to look at it. Same thing with Luke, right? He's going to give you a prop for as many games as he possibly can. But that doesn't mean that actually Luke's cards are pretty fucking big, so they might all be on his card.
I do like big cards, but no, Jay is right. There's 15 games today. Like, I'm not going to bet every single game. I'm trying to give you what I'm looking at in that game. It doesn't mean that there's a lot of money to be made in every single game.
Well, and listen, if we don't like the game, as you see, we'll pass on the game, or we'll tell you, probably pass, not getting to the window with anything here. But just, you take the information that we're giving you, apply it with your information, or if you're here just for the entertainment value, that's great as well. We love having you here. We want you to continue to come back, and we're going to do this every day, 1:00, right? Like, this is for you guys as much as it is for us to talk out the card as well. But you guys have to remember, you can't live or die by what's being said on this show. Make sure that you take in the information, you process the information along with your own handicap, or if you really want to dive in, just ask us, who the hottest cappers are, and we'll tell you who the hottest handicappers are at Why Lose, and we'll tell you exactly which way we're looking for the day or what we're getting to the window with. And there's a lot of great shit going on at Why Lose right now. Give a shout out to our guy Tommy. He's not owning up the chat today, so he wasn't in the chat today. But give a shout out to our guy Tommy, doing the NBA show, doing a great fucking job with that. I know he's doing it 5 days a week. Is he doing it more than that, or just Monday through Friday? Monday through Friday, every day at 5:30. Coach and Guns crushed the tournament for you guys, but doing the show every day. I love seeing that, man. Like, so there's been a lot of great things going on here. Why Lose, even outside of what the three of us do.
I got to shout out Les too. He's on a wild ass.
Yes, he is on a generational run.
Man.
But you know what? It's hard for me to shout out lazy, right? Like, the one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't put out the content. So I'm just shouting out the guys who are putting in the work and doing the content for the community, right? Although I will say this, and Les's NHL has been on fire as well. You know what? Like, it has been. He's been on one of his best runs. He's like 16-3 on his last 20 max bets. You know what, Bernsey? Put his Telegram channel in the comment section as well. So you guys can, if you're into NHL, I personally don't get too much into hockey. Like, like Tommy, I'll put on in the background while I'm doing, some projections, and I'm doing some handicapping, or I'm putting in some bets as well. Coach and Luke, Coach and Guns, I was listening to their show just to get myself set up for, some stuff and to hear like them either confirm or completely go against what I was already thinking on certain games. I like hearing it, right? Like, so that's right in there right now is the Why Lose NHL free pick Telegram channel. If you guys bet hockey or interested in NHL, join his Telegram channel. He gives out free picks in there. And yes, he is on a great run. But you know what? I'm calling him fucking lazy. Same problem I have with Punchy and Combat. I think Punchy like swept his fucking Combat card, hit like a 5-leg parlay on the UFC the other day. Like, so it's the entire team, right? Like the entire team. Like, honestly, you know what? I really do feel I've assembled the best team in sports gambling, you know what? And we're only getting better, right? Like, we're very selective of who we bring onto the team, right? Like, I don't just bring on anybody who asks. Trust me, I promise you. I turn away more guys than I let in. But they're lazy, and I'm not going to reward laziness. Guys, get on your fucking show. Look, he could have been doing fuck you all season long, right? He could have been doing that shit all season long. Just like we committed to doing this show all season long every day. He could have been doing it, right? He could have been getting you guys ready for the Stanley Cup. Matter of fact, light him up on fucking Instagram and say, you lazy fucker, start doing an NHL show. Where's your NHL content? Light him up. You know what? Let him hear it from the people. Make sure he starts going live every fucking day. Do fucking something, guys. You know what? You're out there now. Promote yourself. You want me to promote you? I'll promote you, right? But go out there and fucking promote yourself. And yes, he does deserve acknowledgement. 16-3 on max bets. You know what? That's hard to do, guys. Like, I don't give a fuck how good you are. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. So there's his Telegram channel. You can get in that right now. And he could come on here and he could debate me and he could say something, in the comments, and we'll give him love there too. And I love Les, right? Like, I love Les. So, it's strong love. Like, I give it to all the guys, right? Pause.
Tough love.
Tough love.
It's tough love, man. Yep. It's tough love. You know what? I want these guys to be more active. Right? I want these guys to be more into. I want them to give back more and go out there and promote themselves more than I promote them. Anyway, what game are we on?
We're finishing Tigers D-backs. And I gotta say, I'm not gonna give a pick on this game because speaking of max bets, it's my first max bet of the MLB season. 2-0 on 40 star or better. Both have plus money. Tonight's max bet is plus 140 odds. So we're up 13 units in props. 13 units in 5 days is pretty darn good. And I'm gonna back it if I don't cash my max bet tonight. Guys, you will get a free package upgrade. That's in my Telegram thread, which is, of course, in the description. So I'm not giving a play. Max bet parlay is in this game, though.
Well, the only show that the only package that we promote here on this show is the combo deal, right? Yeah.
I was just saying.
Listen, that's fine.
Telegram.
Both of their telegrams are in the links below. You can catch both of them in their telegrams in the link below. And Adam, yes, NHL has been money. Matter of fact, last 3 years since Les has been a part of the team, it's been money. However, stop being fucking lazy. Start doing content. That's it. You know what? So where was I going with this show? Detroit or nothing. Maybe the over for me. I'm not in love with Arizona. I can't bet back an 0-3 team either. Coach, what about you?
No, that's this. Like I said, this one's a pass. I can't get to either side.
All right. So let's go. Best bets.
Yep.
All right, Coach, best bet.
It's the fate of Nick Martinez. It's Milwaukee. It's got to be the Brewers on the money line.
My best bet again.
Yep.
Like, literally stealing my best bets.
You're damn right.
2 for 2. You're 2 for 2 stealing my best bets now. All right, go ahead. He's on the Milwaukee Brewers. He's fading Nick Martinez, and I cannot hate him. That was going to be my best bet, but you know what?
Yep.
I'll give you guys a bonus bet. I'll go with Burnsy's New York Metropolitans, right?
There you go.
On the road. I like the spot for them. I think the Mets are even better than they played in the series. I actually like that they lost their last one against the Pirates. It actually strengthens this one here. That's right. It keeps you on your toes. So give me the New York Mets. And then, before we get to Luke's, let's do this. All right, let's go. Ride or die.
Ride or die, remember?
All right, you guys know how this goes. Luke's going to say it. I'm going to play it. And then somebody from the comments is going to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Oh, by the way, he wants to promote how his Nerfies are 1-0. His ride or die so far are 0-1. So you know what? That's right. We're going to keep it transparent here. Anyway, you know what? That means he's fucking over the community. Somebody has to get paid today, Luke. Who is he going to get paid?
That's right. And still best bets are 2-1. I just have to shout out the Brewers for Coach. Sign Christian Yelich jersey. What a pimp job he had yesterday.
All right, let's go.
All right, best ride or die.
Who are you playing for?
Oh yeah, I got to pick a comment.
You know what, guys?
I'm playing for.
I'll pick it if it wins. Last time you know what? No, you know who you're playing for Luke?
I want to play for
our guy. No, you're playing for our guy Ponzoon.
Oh, I love it. I love
it. Yep, do it.
You're playing for Ponzu.
That's what happens.
Deserves it.
That's what
that
happens.
guy is a ride or die. He's fucking been here every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you're playing for Ponzu. So Ponzu, this one's for you. $100 Amazon gift card if this cashes. Guys, we're going to be doing the gift cards all season long. It's not going to, be here. We give away 2 of them every fucking show. Ponzu's a ride or die. He's here every single fucking day. He deserves it. Anyway, let's go.
That's
Ride
what
or die.
happens. That's what happens when you show up to our show every day. We will pay you in some capacity. It is Corey Seager.
No, I am, guys, wait, correction. I am not paying you to show up to watch the show.
Sorry, I phrased that poorly. Corey Seager, Rangers, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It is a smoke show of a free play. Book it.
I knew that's where you were going with it. All right, so let's go. Pizza Money Parlay. The Brewers and the Mets, and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do now? All right, but coach, start us off.
Well, you want the Brewers and the Mets in there.
No, you can take them. I don't care. That's fine.
No, I'll add Chris Bubich over 4.5 strikeouts, and
give me your best bet. Obviously, the Brewers.
And we'll take the Brewers. Yeah,
okay,
got to.
There you go, Luke.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody Ponce, Blue Jays, over 4.5 strikeout. Or no, he's up to 5.5, and I took the over 5.5 strikeouts for Ponce.
Good.
And then I really do like Acuna as well. So Acuna over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs in such a buy low. So those are my two.
All right, so I'm gonna get to the window with today. Okay, so first, obviously, we're gonna go with the best bet, right? We're gonna put the New York Mets money line in there, and then what am I gonna do here? Let's go with the Blue Jays money line. I don't mind the 190 something, especially in a parlay, right? So we'll go with the Blue Jays money line.
I love it.
Hold on, let's get that up. And if somebody could put that into an app and just let us know what it pays. So let me reinstate that. It's Bubich over 4.5 Ks and the Milwaukee Brewers money line for Coach Rick Bowe. Legs 3 and 4 are going to be Ponce over 5.5 strikeouts and Acuna Matata over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. For me, it's the New York Mets money line and, of course, the Toronto Blue Jays money line. Does anybody have a price on what that pays?
All I know is that looks pretty sexy. I think that.
Yeah, it actually does look good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie; it actually looks good. Actually, I may take the Yankees team total and the Dodgers team total and add it in and build up like an 8-leg parlay and just have some fun tonight. I do have some spots on the card that I like, but as you guys know, I do not promote my overpriced baseball packages here on this show. I give you guys value, and the best value right now in the game is the 2-for-1 special with Coach Rick and Luke Shuey. 1 week of all MLB, all of their plays, everything they're doing for just $99. Link in the description below. And all right, he says he has plus 1858. Sounds about right. A nice little plus $2,000 parlay. Gotta love that, right? Listen, and again, when it comes to these parlays, guys, I can't stress enough. There's a reason why I call it the Pizza Money Parlay, right? Like, there's a reason for it. It's because it's not something that you want to go fucking all in on, right? It's not to pay your mortgage. I'm seeing plus 1655. I'm seeing plus 1726. So it's around that area. It's still a nice payout. But again, sprinkle. And no, I cannot condone your Red Sox money line. Sorry.
But Luke can.
Yeah. Luke is willing to. Luke definitely supports that pick.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything we didn't cover?
I think we're good.
No, I think we're good. We got it all.
That's it.
So link in the description below if you want to pick up Coach Rick and Luke's combo package, $99. If you prefer one or the other over the other, you can pick up their link in the description to their Telegram, and then they post their packages, their solo packages daily. That combo package can only be purchased here, right? It's a show special just for you guys who tune in every day, so you can catch that here and only here. Link in the description for pretty much everything. Guys, look, and as I've always stated, I want to say this again. I really do appreciate you guys spending your time with us. You guys make it worth doing this show, and you guys have known throughout the seasons that we have as much fun with you in the comments as we have with each other on the show. For Coach Rick Bowe, Luke Shuey, I, of course, MJ Cavalier. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow, same time, 1 o'clock, the same cast, the same characters, breaking down the same ass fucking card, looking to cash tickets for you guys. Until then, remember that with your heads, not above them.
Book it.
Giddy up.
Special guy for placing a bet like that. If he plays anywhere near 30